they are just absolutely amazing, and I can't give back enough to them for their help over the last 12 years.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
Really looking forward to catching up to my next guest on the show. We're going to be finding out more about the Helen and Douglas Firewalk that is happening this weekend, and joined by Michaela Middleton. Good morning, Michaela. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Rich. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you ever so much. Look, the Helen Douglas Firewalk is happening this weekend at Tilsley Park, down in Abingdon. Just explain your relationship with Helen and Douglas House.
Yes, my son Finley was diagnosed with a very rare genetic condition, as well as other complications, medical complications, and we were referred to Helen and Douglas House when he was about 18 months old. We continued to use Helen and Douglas House for over 12 years. He was 14 and a half when he died last year. So they supported us massively. And to do the Firewalk this weekend is just one way that I can actually give back to Helen and Douglas House.
Yeah, and just the fact that Helen and Douglas House are there, just kind of explain the importance of what they do and how amazing they are to so many people in your situation.
Yeah, they are so amazing. They provide so much support to families like ourselves. They do a lot of end of life care as well, so they support families at the end of the child's life, and they also do lots of other supportive things for families outside of the actual hospice. So they arrange day trips or activities. They also have a siblings group for obviously brothers and sisters of those that use the services, which my daughter still uses, even though Finley has passed away. So they still support us even after our son left us. But it's the fact that they give freely to those that need it. I can't explain it enough. It's so needed. There are so many families that do not realise that service is available, and to highlight Helen and Douglas House in any way possible is an amazing thing. The staff there are wonderful. They provide anything and everything that you need. The doctors help you. They offer you things that you would never know. So services you can access that you would never have been able to. They are just absolutely amazing, and I can't give back enough to them for their help over the last 12 years.
I'm amazed, and it's always nice to look at things kind of the other way as well, that even though are going through incredibly tough times and what have you, that you've clearly been through, there's always that kind of support and aspect outside of that as well, that you sort of touched on as well, and that is as important as the care given. And I'm always amazed by that as much as the care and the focus is there as well, there's actually the reprieves and the kind of the nice things that also come along with it as well. And I think that sometimes gets forgotten about, because you're talking about such tragic and terrible things always with this, that actually there is that side of it which is brilliantly important.
Yes, Helen Douglas House have actually supported us in our bereavement road. They have supportive teams that help us to mix with other families that have been through or are going through that bereavement, which highlights the fact that we're not alone. And that extra support and connections with other families is really, really important, because when you're going through that crisis, you feel like you are the only one, or your family is the only family doing that. But actually, there are so many other families that have that issue to deal with. And Helen Douglas House provide that support and offer services that you wouldn't normally expect to get. So it's very, very useful, and out they just continue to support us even after,
Yeah.
which I find very, very humbling,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
fair.
It really is, and thank you, Michaela, for coming on and speaking so wonderfully about Helen Douglas House and the amazing work that they did for Finley as well, and it really writes home how important and how wonderful as well these places are, and obviously they need to keep running, they need to keep the doors open, they need to keep supporting people like your good self and many others as well. Hence why we have the Firewalk this weekend. Are you looking forward to it? Have you ever done a Firewalk before?
Um, yes, I am looking forward to it. No, I haven't before. And there's a little bit of apprehension because it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be walking bare feet on things that are in theory going to damage me. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited about it. I've done other things like parachute jumps and things like that as well. So
Right.
this should be a walk in the park, as they might say. Ha ha.
That's I mean, I could have put it better myself. That's absolutely super. I remember I did a Firewalk a while back, and it's all of those things. There's brilliant training that is involved, and safety is first and foremost, and everything like that. But there is an exhilaration and an absolute buzz. Probably not quite the same as jumping out of an airplane, which I definitely wouldn't be able to do. But there's definitely that exhilaration, and to kind of to be doing it this weekend and kind of raising awareness and support for Helen Douglas House. That's the important side of things, isn't it?
Absolutely. Financially, we don't have money to support them, so for me to get sponsorship and do some of these events, and I'm also volunteering for them as well. So I was at the half marathon on Sunday supporting,
Brilliant,
which was a great experience. The atmosphere was lovely. So it's my way of trying to give back something. So like I say, I don't have enough financially to support them that way, but I have plenty of time. So I give my time to them and support them in any way I can.
No, for sure. Well, look, I'm sure you will absolutely smash the event over the weekend, and I'm sure you'll race across the hot coals on the Firework at Tilsey Park down in Abingdon on this Saturday. More details you can find, I'm sure. Just search for Helen Douglas House and Firewalk, and that comes up this weekend. But look, if you're down there, go and support. Go and put your hands in your pockets as well, and give if you can. Michaela, I just wanted to thank you for coming on and speaking about this so brilliantly and wonderfully, and taking the time to do this, and on radio as well. It means a great deal, and I'm sure everyone listening this morning as well will be touched by your story, and hopefully will think about potentially donating as well to Helen and Douglas House this weekend and beyond. Thanks so much for joining us, Michaela.